Welcome everybody, this is the Moon Eris channel. Today we have 3 paths for you to choose from. Remember that the picker cards are a general reading only, and it is not intended to be as accurate as a personal reading, although it can sometimes serve as a tool of confirmation for something that you might have a deep inner knowing for already. There are many ways that the picker card can help us effectively and let our own intuition guide us through the process. So if you can take a moment to choose which part you feel the most drawn to, we have group 1 with the rose quartz, group 2 with the obsidian, and group 3 with the clear quartz. This is actually meant to be like a Lemurian seed clear quartz. So once you've chosen your pile, use the timestamps and skip ahead. Welcome group 1 to today's reading. Today's reading is what it is that you need to know. So if you chose the rose quartz, then this will be your reading for today. There could be some people here that have had an experience, whether it's in the past or present, of a partner stepping outside of a union of some type. It doesn't have to be romantic, it could be business as well, or even like a deeply close friendship. I do feel like it would be more likely it would be a romantic partner or a business partner. I get the feeling that this group thought that this was a very supportive person or your forever person, and you would have never guessed that they would have done something like this because of how solid you were in your union. I think it was actually a really good union, like a great union, like a lot to celebrate, good times, abundance. I sort of get the energy of this person thought they could have their cake and eat it too, and it's not a reflection of you. I do feel like some of these people, when telling their side of the story, would be likely to say that it was you that was doing something like this to them, and that's why they did what they did. They're trying to like turn it around, or yeah. I feel like for this person, they're in a driving space underneath this behavior or that mentality was either a lack of confidence or maybe not like a good self-worth or something like that. Or they're in excess of it. There might have been some small insecurities that really like drove them to exert like an overconfidence or something, like an overcompensation, to where they felt like they had to do something like that to make themselves feel worthy. But it looks like a really good space at the time. For some of you, this is not about spouse or romantic partner that has actually stepped out on your unions. For some of you, your union or whatever this deep connection is actually still great and still solid, but there was like someone in the background trying to maneuver in a way here or lead with deception regarding the union, whether that was to, I'm not sure what the intention was. For some of you, they may have seen you living this like happy union life and seen that it took up a lot of your attention, and they thought it was a good opportunity to like try to get away with something because you were busy during this time. For some of you, you could have actually been busy at a wedding or during a wedding or something, and this person decided to do something then. Let's see. But Spirit wants you to know that there is a deep new beginning that will probably elevate your soul. There's a lot of character development here. There's a lot of learning about yourself as a person. And I think this person will face a type of judgment, maybe in a legal system, I'm not really sure. But you'll move on to find a different type of joy somewhere else, or a different type of like expansion in your life somewhere else. And you will come back into a really healthy union that almost looks like art, like a fine art. Yeah, really dynamic, really passionate. I feel like you guys would light each other up, like you would really bounce back and forth between each other. You'd very much create, that union would have its own energy of like the passion and creation and all of that. I feel like it would be a really enjoyable union. I think that what you had before was really good and fruitful in a lot of ways, but I think nothing will compare to what's coming in. And so some of you may have had to get strong within yourselves to like have the hard conversations and cut people off. But I think that you've realized the damage that you like can happen by not having those conversations. And it could probably leave you in your feelings, but it's just showing up a little bit at a time every day to do what you can. Okay, that's actually everything that I have for you today, Group 1. That was pretty quick. So thanks for joining us. Hopefully that was helpful in some way, and I'll see you all in another reading. Okay, welcome Group 2. I was immediately getting something about there's been a lot of sadness and darkness surrounding this group, and although you may still be processing or grieving something as time is moving forward, I feel like you are finding that place within yourself that will help pull you out or help flush out all of the old stuff. But it's like, I think you're going to get to a really good place. And I was actually getting a message before I started today's video, and it was very clear. It was like freedom is coming. So for those of you who have been feeling really stuck, it's like the freedom is coming here. For some of you, you may have been drawn to Group 1, or for some of you, you may have watched Group 1 and maybe it resonated, but it was not an energy that you necessarily are interested in, and you're unsure why it continues to come through when it's not something that you wish to continue to like relive, or I don't know. I feel like this person is simply pulling on your energy. For a very small group of you, there may be something that hasn't been processed here that Spirit's trying to help along. And I do feel like if you're still in that phase and you identify with that, coming out of that hard time, or still kind of in the thick of it a bit, maybe working with Obsidian would be really helpful for you. All I will say is that make sure that you keep it cleansed regularly, because it can absorb the negative energy, but it can continue to hold it, so you've got to keep it clear. And if you don't like smudging or using smoke for clearing, you could like put the obsidian, on the earth. You could just run it under like water out of a tap. You could even use salt water as well. I'm not sure if that's necessary though. It just depends what you have. Okay, or what you feel would be most helpful for your situation. Like, I think Spirit sometimes gives this option so that we have the ability to access that, but they sometimes give us options because you might have an intuition on how you actually find best clears or cleanses your crystal or that particular type. So, yeah, I feel like this group is coming up out of something, and it's like, a really heavy time. For some of you, it may have been like a dark night of the soul type of experience. But I feel like there's actually a new person. I don't know, is it new or old? There could be new and old people here. Okay, so there's a person here that I think they're going to really look after you. And they're going to try to do their best to at least cheer you up or offer you support of some kind anyway. And I think that they see their life being like a happy, prosperous time with you around. And I think that they see that you have a lot of depth. Is it depth? No. I think they can see that you're a supportive person also, so it's likely to be matched, and I think that they're going to kind of bring a happiness and a bubbliness to your situation, and that will probably help you step into that, like, filling yourself up more than you already have. But I'm kind of getting, like, a set of stairs, like, you guys might be absolutely exhausted with everything that's happened. You might not even be interested in a partner if you don't have one. And for those of you that have a partner, maybe it's like not a part of your life that you're really giving so much to at this stage because of your capacity. And so you might be exhausted, but I kind of get like the feeling or the scene of like if you've been out like swimming all day or something like that, and you're walking up like the stairs, from the beach up into like the grassland or something like that, and it's like you're absolutely physically exhausted, but it's been really refreshing and you feel good. And even though you feel weak in that moment, you're really strong. And there's something very like purifying and wholesome about that feeling. And you might really pull on the rail, like if there was a rail next to the stairs, to like help pull yourself up the stairs, because of how exhausted that you feel. But you're gonna get to the top of the stairs and you're nearly there. And I think it's like, freedom is coming. So maybe for some of you it was just like whatever this was just kept you on the back foot the whole time. I'm actually getting a lot of surfing analogies, and I have a friend that's learning how to surf at the moment, so if you're here, hello. But yeah, so this is good though, because we're looking in the present moment and into the future, and I think that you're going to begin to like cross a bridge or cross a path or into a new timeline, or like you're moving forward past whatever this was, and the past isn't going to weigh you down quite the way that it did or has been. Yeah. Okay, so I'm just gonna see if there's I always get a creepy saying, not always, but I regularly get a creepy saying of like, anything you can do, I can do better. And it's usually like a sign of a person that's competing. And I don't think that's this person here that we're just been talking about. Could have been a person that had you in this energy of like grieving or a loss, or, you know, being in a time of darkness. But it could also be something else here. Let's see. For some of you, it might be like a point of competition between where you were at and where you are coming into, like a new energy where you're actually going to have a lot more vitality than you did before. And I think it's also very symbolic that when I held the obsidian, I actually got that message that anything you can do, I can do better, because it shows me that the obsidian is working. It's like absorbing that negative energy instead of it going to you, and then you can cleanse it and clear it, and then you continue to use it again. What I would say is, if you're using like a rough or a raw obsidian, is just be careful, because they can have really sharp edges. Most of the time they file them down, unless you like get a tumble or something else. But yeah, so that's confirmation. So obsidian will be like a really good type of protection that you could use working with dark crystals. I feel like lavender would be really good for people in this group, or if there's any particular plants that you have had a lot of success or there's notoriety for assistance and protection. I would definitely lean towards those in this time. For some of you, rosemary would be a good one, if you can just snap like a little sprig of it and keep it in your pocket or something like that. I feel like rosemary is pretty common, as well as lavender. So okay, so moving on past this stage, so it's like there's this person here that will be helpful and thoughtful. I think they'll probably be quite empathetic as well, which is something that I feel like you haven't had for a long time. I feel like you've had to really be that for yourself. So I can only imagine how nice that would be. And I think for some of you, you're not really sure where to go from here, or where to go next, or what the reality of your options are, or what that would actually look like. Like, it can be a little bit disorienting, having like very vague ideas of several options and not really knowing. And all you can do is kind of start out in any, like, I don't know, I guess Spirit's kind of leading me to just starting rather than trying to weigh up all the options. And you'll very practically soon find out what the best method is going forward. I think Spirit is kind of asking group 2 to be as practical as you can and just try to be grounded. And I feel like if there's anyone here in this group that maybe lives like a very integrated life, or you can live in the higher, I don't know, you know, like other dimensions at different times, or have like a lot of high energy or spiritual experiences. I think this is like confirmation of Spirit saying that this is a time to be in your human form and be grounding in all the ways you can, like doing the simple tasks around the home, even if it requires you to like put music on to be able to listen to it, or just taking like one day at a time or one step at a time, doing the practical steps that you need to do. And then just like it really gives me a sense of being in our body and embodied, rather than anything to do with the mind. Like, I don't see a single sword here, and it's actually it's really refreshing. I think it's really good news for you, because if anything, it's just a time for processing and then just doing the things that we need to do. So anything else? No. Okay, group 2, that's everything that Spirit says, like what you need to know. This is just a general reading, keep in mind. So if this didn't seem accurate for you, you're always welcome to reach out to book like a private reading instead, or maybe another pile could have been like closer in resonance for your situation. But thank you for joining us anyway today, and hopefully this is helpful anyway. I'll see you all in another group. Thanks. I'll see you all in another video is what I meant to say if you did catch that. So I feel like that's definite confirmation. Thanks, guys. Thanks, people. Welcome group 3. If you chose this clear quartz Lemurian seed crystal, then this will be your reading for today. As I was shuffling the cards, I started hearing the Eye of the Tiger song. And when I pulled the Queen of Wands and the High Priestess out, I was getting an energy or a feeling that there's something going on between the two here. So we asked and they clarified saying that they're keeping an eye on each other. So we have a person here who's actually putting a lot of effort and action into trying to, they're keeping an active eye on the other person, on the High Priestess. So the Queen of Wands is making an active effort to keep an eye on High Priestess. And I feel like this is through like the physical realm. So they're actually maybe like doing things like talking to people or looking things up on social media, or, you know, looking for signs of something here, maybe a move of some kind, I'm not really sure. And so they're pretty comfortable and confident in their stance and where they sit in their position and everything, but they're just definitely paying attention and they're putting in making a concerted effort. And I feel like they're really driven to do this. Yeah, I'm not sure what the underlying factor is here, but they're definitely paying attention. Now, we also have the High Priestess here, and I feel like the High Priestess is just getting a lot of, being given a lot of like intuitive information or insight in some way that has allowed them to pick up on this Queen of Wands energy that's keeping this putting in the concerted effort to be able to. And at this point, it does look like there will be some sort of new beginning. One where people are taking each other's energy quite lightly and it's not too serious, and it's more of just a like, we'll wait and see, we'll wait and find out kind of how this goes. Or like, I feel like both people here at the end of the day, when it really comes down to it, they're actually like really busy kind of in their own journeys, in their own new beginnings in whatever way that appears to them in their life. That they're pretty preoccupied just living their life, going on this adventure of what their life is turning out like, and they have people with them and they're doing their thing and they're working it out as they go. And yeah, I kind of get that there is like a bit of a salty energy here though about this process, because I wonder if, like, you know, what is it? Like, if both people are on this new journey, they may not be on this new journey together. I'm going to park that and I'll just see what else do we get? I was just hearing, like, clear quartz for the clear knowing. And there's Lemurian seed for the records. Oh, yeah, I don't know. Of the freed? I'm not sure. I'm just hearing no fool, as in no one is a fool. It's getting the Queen of Wands is confident in her power and energy. The Queen of Wands, not the Queen of Wands, Jesus, the High Priestess is doing everything in their power to keep away or keep a distance or something like that. Which would explain there's like an active effort on one side because they're quite confident, and then the High Priestess is keeping a distance or something like that, and it's coming through receptively because they're not actually there to experience it. Oh, Five of Cups really wanted to come out. Okay. So you might have been grieving some sort of situation, maybe a friendship here. It feels like a friendship or a person that you knew, some type of connection. And it looks like, is it spirit or someone else? You find a way to process whatever that was and to actually fulfill yourself so that you have enough that you're ready to kind of, I want to say like get back out there to offer your cup to someone. For some of you, the person that you decide to like offer your cup to will be like a new friend. So I said a new friend, but I do feel for a lot of you it could also be an old friend, or it could be both. Like some of you could just be kind of wanting a type of connection here, whether it's old or new. Yeah, regardless of whether it's old or new, it could be both. There could actually be like old and new friends sort of like coming in to reconnect with, and it seems like you're putting effort into that reconnection. And then I think once you guys do connect, you'll feel a lot more stable, solid, or grounded within yourself, where you can sort of go back to focusing on like the practical human aspects of life, like your health and vitality and the responsibilities and just routines. I feel like it's a lot of routine and vitality energy. So like maybe you go for a run or you're making healthy meals or something. So for a lot of you, maybe for a while you let that go as you were like in your feels and processing things. Because it did seem like a dark time. So and if that seems like relative to a person on the other side of the energy, on the other side, you can just flip the energy there. But okay, anything else here? I'm just hearing be discerning in your character flaws. So it might call for a level of like self-awareness. Yeah. Okay. That's everything that I have for you today, Group 3. Hopefully this is helpful to you all in some way and resonated for you. This is just a general reading, so if I feel like I might be having or experiencing a shift in the collective energy or my own energy offsetting the collective. So if this didn't resonate for you, feel free to check out one of the other piles. Sometimes people can be drawn to multiple piles at a time as well. I do feel like there'll be a small group of people here today that will listen to 1, 2, and 3. Most of the people in like that shot to today's video would probably watch group 2, not group 2, but that could be like an indicator for you. 2 of the groups just as it is anyway, regardless of what 2. I do feel like there was a lot of crossover between group 2 with 1 and 3. So whatever that looks like for you, it doesn't matter. Yeah. My readings are timeless, so it doesn't matter when you find this. It should still be relevant or resonate for you. And if it does not, you're welcome to come back in a month's time and it might then as well. If my readings don't resonate for you, I wouldn't sweat it. There's plenty of really good readers out there on YouTube. You might just be on a bit of a mission to find someone who is a better like vibe match for you, or they have something to offer you that like I wouldn't, and that's okay. So yeah, I hope that you find what you're looking for, and I just want to thank you for joining us and being part of the collective for while you were here, and I'll see you all in another video. Thanks.